Oh shit. I'm gonna have to like edit a little bit because I have to make sure
Uh,
I put this towards like the front of the show
mhm,
versus the back end of the show for certain reasons. I'm gonna be trying a
mhm.
different video format for the show, slightly different,
All right.
very slightly.
Mhm,
I'm gonna be chopping it up into like segments. I'm gonna see how that
mhm.
performs a little bit. So like we'll have the opening segment, we're talking about games, and then I'll split the stories up into their own segments. This is mostly so content can kind of be on the channel more than like one day a week. And then if I miss
Mm.
a week, it's not like the channel's just been sitting there doing nothing for a week. I'm gonna try it and see how I feel about it. And if I don't
All
like
right.
the way the workflow works out, if it doesn't mesh with me very well, then
All
I
right.
tried. I tried something new, but I'm gonna try it
Mm.
this week. So
Mhm.
this week alone will be the first week that I will not be eating a shoe because the content for the channel will go up on Monday, not today. But I've already announced it prior, so fuck you. I'm not eating a shoe.
Hmm.
There we go. Okay, we're good. I got it. It's all. It is
So
all.
Discord didn't have your mic, but you were sounding fine, so that's interesting.
No, not Discord. OBS. You're
Hmm.
right.
Ah,
Yeah,
OBS. Okay.
yeah. OBS didn't have. Discord
Uh,
has it. I assume. Discord. I don't fucking.
I mean,
I
it
don't.
would be interesting
I
if it
don't.
didn't, but I still heard you normally.
Dude, look. I just make the content. All right. I don't think that hard about it. I just make it. That's all I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness, CD, my
Hey.
man. After 2 straight weeks of no show, whew, man. I All right, so I'm gonna keep it 125% with you, CD, and audience.
Mm-hmm.
I am only going to apologize for missing one show.
I figured as
I
much.
I am only apologizing for missing one of those shows. Only one of them. The other one, fuck you guys. I didn't have a choice on that one. But one of those shows I missed. Yes, it was the one where I went to the Final Fantasy musical concert. That's the only one I will apologize for. The other one, well, my health was necessary, so I had no choice. So I'm not apologizing for my health or lack thereof. I'm sorry. I'm just not apologizing for that. You can all just y'all
Considering
can.
the occasion, I would not have been surprised if you wouldn't have apologized for any of those two.
Yeah, it was a fantastic concert. It really was. It's called a Final Fantasy Distant Worlds concert. It was actually really great.
Mm,
They had a
nice.
very interesting. I think they do a different set list for every show because I was looking up set lists from like prior shows, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing on the set list I found were anything like the ones they did that day. We had a very different set list, so it was.
I mean, given it's Final Fantasy, there's enough that they can pull from.
Yeah, they could pull literally hundreds of songs.
Mm-hmm.
We had Final Fantasy 15. Like I had one, we had one from 6. We had like one or two from 6, a few from 4. Surprisingly, nothing from 7.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, there was nothing from 7. We had 2 from 10. No, we did
All
have one
right.
from 7. I'm sorry,
Uh,
I forgot.
uh-huh.
It was the finale, One Winged Angel. That one was from
Ah.
7. Yeah. Uh we
Uh,
had one.
Depending, that could have other variations.
Yeah, we had one from 14, which was a banger. It was a
Mm-hmm.
really good one. And then at the end of the show, we thought the show was going to end. The conductor runs back on stage, and
Whoops, I
the
forgot.
he runs back on stage, and the band does the victory fanfare theme,
Mm-hmm.
and then they segue into a medley of all of Chocobo themes.
Ah.
And then the guitarist pulls out a ukulele for one of them. It was fantastic. It was so
Very
good.
good. Very fitting for the end. As in, everyone goes on their chocobos and rides away.
Yeah, everyone thought the show was over, but the show was not over. The
Hmm.
show was, it was a fantastic, fantastic show.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie to you, CD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of these weeks I was not doing a lot of anything. I was laid out pretty fucking
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
Uh, but I can talk about what I've been doing the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as you think I have been doing, but more than I thought
Mm-hmm.
I'd be doing. I finally got around to playing Disgaea 7 demo because I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't really gotten around to trying it. It's been on my Switch for
Mm-hmm.
like a week, and I kept putting it off because I just either was like in like too much misery or
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't feel like it, so I just didn't. I'm digging it. I love the
Mm-hmm.
fact that the girl character keeps on miss saying common phrases or
Mm-hmm.
common sayings. Like she keeps
Yep.
getting them wrong, and the other guy
Mm-hmm.
has to correct. He's like, that's not what that's not what that saying is.
Everyone has to correct her.
He's like, that. What do you say? No, you don't say it like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, enter endless optimism. Oh, there's a
Yeah,
bad guy? Yeah, she goes and invents a sad backstory for him just because.
I hope that one.
Endless optimism.
I hope.
It's it's kind of a bit like with Valvatoris, with concocting the positive things about sardines and such. She does it for bad guys
Uh,
with the sad backstories.
I hope there's a twist where like one of the
Mhm.
backstories she creates for one of the villains turns out to be their backstory. I mean,
Would be.
law of averages. She's bound to get one of them right eventually. She's bound to like get it right. So
Maybe.
I wouldn't put it by her. So that's been fun. I think I'm almost done
Hmm.
with chapter 1. I played through a decent amount of it last night. I was getting used to Disgaea
Hmm.
again, but then again, I have too many other games I have to like engage with, despite the
Hmm.
seeming amount of free time I have now. There are too many RPGs out here for me to be trying to engage with. Did we talk? Were we on the air for Tokyo Game Show? Did we ever even talk about?
I don't think we talked much about that.
We
We
didn't.
might have talked about some announcement there, but we didn't specifically talk about the game show,
Oh, did we?
I
Did
think.
did I ever mention the fact that like Tales of Arise after so long was getting content?
I
I don't think
think
that
we
even
might have,
I don't know. I
but
don't know if that ever got
we
brought up
didn't
on the
talk much
show.
about it, I think.
Either
Might have not been. I'm not quite sure.
either way, there was a couple things I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
bring up. One, Legend of Heroes, the Legend of
Mm-hmm.
Heroes game from Japan's finally been announced to come out. Which I mean, obviously, it was going to come out in America. Let's fucking don't. Let's not act surprised. We all knew it. You knew it. I knew it. They knew it. We all knew. It was just a
Only
matter
a
of
matter
time.
of time.
Only a
Mm-hmm.
matter of time. Kuro Kaseki, I think is what it's called. What was it called in Japan? I yeah
Kuro no Kiseki or something like
yeah.
that, probably. Mm-hmm.
So I was looking forward to that, and as
Mm-hmm.
usual, it's on PS4, PC, and like Switch. I'm buying it on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I need my portable RPGs. I might actually play this one though, like right away, because unlike the others, I don't have to be tied down to trying to play through the rest of them to make sure I understand everything, because there are
Huh.
so
Is it
many.
prequel stuff or is that just
It's
a
far enough
side
ahead.
story?
It's far enough ahead
Ah, okay.
of the current like
Mm-hmm.
almost 10 game timeline that exists now that you can kind of jump in here
Mm-hmm.
and not be
Okay.
too fucked up trying to do so.
All right.
So that's
Cool.
cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was Tales of Arise getting new content. I'm
Yes.
amped
Looking
about.
forward to that. Yeah, just about in a month or so.
I am amped about that. Did not see that coming though. Can't say I
Yeah,
really.
that came out of nowhere,
Yeah,
absolutely.
can't say I was like. I can't say of all the things I was wishing for out of Tokyo Game Show, I was like, man, I wonder if Tales of Rise are gonna get con.
I
I
mean,
just assumed
at
they would.
this point, I was almost waiting for an announcement of a completely new Tales game, but
Uh,
I'll take an expansion to Arise.
Yeah, expansion to an already good game
Hmm.
is already good. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
upset. There was Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. We got to see
Hmm.
we got to see the storyline trailer for that and the gameplay trailer, and mm, delicious. It's fucking delicious. Delicious. It's so fucking tasty. It's like a
Infinitely delicious, you would
it's
say.
infinitely delicious. You couldn't have given me a better trailer that made me feel despair and sadness and happiness all at the same
Hmm.
time. As of note, Yang Ye, who is going to be voicing Kiryu in English for a Kiryu and for the English version of the game or English voice acting for the game, he
Hmm.
had to hold on to a very large plot drop that happens in the trailer. A very
Hmm.
large thing you find out in the trailer. He had to hold on to that information for months, and I'm like,
I mean, he has to essentially hold on to every information.
but that one in particular, I
Hmm.
feel like the one I don't want to like I don't like watch it. If you're not interested, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to take that from anyone who wants to get into Yakuza. But if you saw the trailer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He had to, bro. I don't know. I would have told some. I would have told somebody. Somebody was gonna find. I'd have fucked up and told somebody, and guess what? I'd lose my job. I'd probably make it to like the day before the trailer drops, and my friend, the one person I told, ends up fucking telling the world a day early, and now I'm fucked. So it's like, we know who said it. Only one person knew about it. Shit.
That info had a watermark.
It did. It had an actual fucking watermark on it, man. That shit sucks. It's fantastic, but it still sucks, man. But yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Fantastic. What else is there? Oh, we have a Discord now, don't we?
Yes.
The podcast and my channel. I have a Discord. We have a Discord. The
Mm.
RPG Grinder Club. It's where a bunch of nerds can come together and talk about RPGs, video games, and all kinds of interesting, fucked up aspects of gaming culture and news on a regular basis. Link in the description if you'd like to join. We'd love to have you. There's always something
Uh-huh.
fucked up being talked about.
For
Ooh,
sure.
I segued that shit, didn't I? Fuck. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I got. That's it. Not nothing to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. Pack it in.
All right. Well, for me, gaming has been pretty much two games. First one I started last week, which is a neat little sequel to a neat game called The World Ends With You. Neo, The World Ends With You, they call it.
Uh huh.
Interestingly. Interesting decision to name it like that, but I mean, whatever works. Game so far is nice. And definitely, obviously, the controls and all are different now that it's not touch-based, touchscreen-based controls. Essentially, you have your powers either on the face buttons or the shoulder buttons or the trigger buttons. And yep, game takes place sometime after the original. There's so far I've seen one character that I know is also in the original. Another character has been the main character from the first one has been shortly talked about in a bit, but hasn't appeared. And one character might have a connection to another character in the first game, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's from the way he talks, he reminds me of another character. And so far the characters are quite interesting again. Most of them new characters obviously, but the setup is still the same. You have your 7 days for each Reaper game that you have to get through. Each day you have a mission, and it has some nice new mechanics. Each character has his own special power in that UG world. Like for example, one can dive into other people's minds to solve problems. Your main character can now rewind time. So you
Oh.
can travel back to different spots in that day and retroactively solve problems,
Hmm.
which is used in a neat way. Like you go through a day, you think, okay, this is going downhill, and at the end you have a pretty bad situation, and then you go, okay, I think we can do this better. And then you go back and see what you can improve. So that game's been fun so far. I've been through, I think, I'm somewhere in the second week or so of that game, and definitely gonna continue that. And the other game I started more recently, which you already mentioned, Disgaea 7, but the full version.
Ah. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
buy the full version quite soon. It's just life has
Mm-hmm.
been difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I
Playing
also
it
know
on
I also know
Steam.
Disgaea
Mm-hmm.
demos let you do quite a bit and let you fuck around with quite a few of
Mm-hmm.
the mechanics. So I'm not like too upset because I could probably squeeze out quite a bit of time out of the demo if I really want to anyways. So
Mm-hmm. Is
I'm a
the
st-
demo just the first chapter complete, or
I haven't
do
finished the
you know
first
how much
chapter
it is?
yet, so I don't know how much the demo's actually
Okay.
going to be.
Which I would guess it's probably the first chapter, something like that.
I'm
Which
love
that
like I
would.
like I said, I'm loving.
Mm-hmm.
I okay.
Yeah.
So look, I don't want to pull away
Mm-hmm.
from what you have to say, but I do
Yeah,
have
sure.
to say this. I
Mm-hmm.
am like loving the diversity of all these different netherworlds we've experienced now. Because at first,
Mm-hmm.
when I started playing Disgaea, I was like, oh, so it's like the netherworld is like one place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you
Yeah.
realize, oh no, there's like multiple netherworld, and they're all very
Mm-hmm.
uniquely different from each other.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And this one, I'm like, oh, this is okay. We're
Mm-hmm.
whew.
Yeah. And this one, you also visit different netherworlds, so you ready.
Oh, oh, fantastic! I'm ready.
Yeah. And if the demo is just chapter one, even that gives you good content, but you've seen only a part of the mechanics then
Yeah,
and all the
about to
features that
say.
you get in the base. You get a lot more over the chapters. I mean, I've only gotten the one of the features in chapter 5, I think, or in the beginning of chapter 6. So, and I have still one spot in my shortcut rings that's black.
Oh
And I'm
wow.
currently in chapter 7.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Okay.
And I don't know yet what feature that exactly is gonna be, because I'm also not, haven't seen that one in the base anywhere.
Hmm.
Because the other features are all there, just blacked out, and when you go to the character, he tells you, yeah, this is not set up yet. But that specific feature in the shortcuts, not found in the base.
Hmm.
So might be a character I pick up later on,
Oh.
maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I
All
mean
right. I don't know.
that would be one explanation for it.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be interesting in any way, in any
you
case,
you
what
you
that
could you
piece
could
is.
find you could find out, right? Just as simple.
Yep. But I prefer to find out by playing.
I'm just saying. If you really want to know,
Mm-hmm.
you have access to the World Wide Web, the series of tubes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I also have access to the game.
That fair, fair. That's that. Yeah, fair point. So
And so far
we're
the game is pretty much pretty much an improvement in pretty much every regard, I'd say, to the previous title.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so full disclaimer, I have Disgaea 6. I just never got around to playing it because people's
Mm-hmm.
reaction to the game was so poor. So I was like, oh wait. But now I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, having now tried Disgaea 7, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll go back and still play it, but I'm just gonna wait to play it till I run out of Disgaea content. I mean,
I mean, you could just play through it for the story and then just chuck it on the pile and be done with it,
yeah, probably.
essentially.
I probably wouldn't be
Because
a
the
game.
story itself, I didn't mind with 6. That one seemed fine. But yeah, obviously it has other problems.
Yeah, so there's other games I want to play, other things I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll have to figure
Yeah.
out where I want to place that one on the list.